closed system or open system, you must know what I'm talking about. Is it okay? We say that you are dealing with an open system when there is what? Transfer of mass. When you are 20 degrees, 25 degrees, what mass is transferred? Are we together, guys? So, from the beginning, it's going to be closed system, and later on, as Fabrice said, you see why I said you must say yes to Fabrice, huh? Later on, when the temperature gets to 100 and so on, then there will be transfer of mass. Is it okay, guys? Between the system and the surroundings. Then we're going to talk about open system. Okay? Good. And we said this. For a closed system, we're going to give the conservation of energy. Says that delta. Can you remind me, guys? I'm getting old. Can you give me the formula? What's the formula for general formula for energy balances? Delta? Delta U plus delta dk plus delta. Okay, let's use this. We're going to have delta delta U plus delta dk plus delta EP is equal to Q minus W. Is it okay? Are we together so far? Right. Later on, once it becomes an open system, then we can use delta H plus delta EK plus delta EP is equal to Q dot minus W dot. Do you still remember these guys? Yes. Good. And now, let's see how we can determine our resistance. Oh, okay, my friend, you are shooting. Alright, you're going to be the journalist. I'm sitting here. We know that by the conservation of energy, we can write this down. And we make some assumption that this is equal to 0. I think we've already explained why. Is it okay? This also is equal to 0. We remain with delta H dots is equal to Q dots. This also we assume 0. Is it okay? And this can be calculated by M dot C delta delta T. That's going to be equal to Q dots. Your Q dots is the rate, the energy rate, which can be taken as the power. Are we together? Q is what is being supplied to the system. Okay, guys? Good. So we're going to write here P or V squared over R. Actually, we want to determine the R for our system. So what we will do now, because our M dot is basically the dm is the change in mass with respect to the time. With respect to the time, C delta T is equal to V squared over R. I would like just to simplify concepts. I want to avoid integration, okay, for the moment. Therefore, look at guys. For the moment, we assume that there is no major change in terms of mass. Because when you are hitting from 25, 60, do you think the mass will change? No. Is it okay? So we take the mass constants, and therefore I can cross multiply, and I will end up giving delta T, which is a change in time. It's going to be equal to the mass R over V squared delta T C. Yeah. delta t. So you're going to end up with this expression. Again, yeah, yes?
Isn't delta T and C divided?
You said that. It is not? Yes. My friend said that I'm right, so so you end up having delta T is equal to this. Okay. While you're going to be performing your experiments, these will be your two variables, the time and the temperature. Are we together? So from these two variables, you can determine your delta T and your delta T. Your delta T is going to be, you take this minus this, and so on. The same for the temperature, you take the first, the second minus the first, the third minus the first, and you're going to get your delta T values and delta small t values as well. Having delta T and delta T, how can you determine your R? I'm dealing with my colleagues. How are you going to determine your R? What are you supposed to do after collecting data? Delta T and delta T. Using this. Remember what we did at the beginning? We say to you, what are you going to plot against what to get what? What are you supposed to plot against what to get what? A straight line. You remember, guys? From the beginning. So, in this case, what are we going to plot against what to get a straight line? We're going to plot delta T against delta T. So you have to plot the graph delta T against delta T. And what it will generate? A straight line. You're going to have this. What's the gradient will be? The gradient will be? Exactly, your slope. It's going to be nRC over this way. Just let imagine. Because you want to determine your R. You go to your slope. Let's say if your slope, for instance, I don't know, let's say making it is equal to 2. Because from the straight line, you can determine the gradient. Don't tell me that you don't know how to determine the gradient. You know how to determine the gradient. Let us assume that you go to your slope is 2. Now, after getting your slope is 2, obviously you will equate it with nRC. This squared is equal to 2, isn't it? You want to determine R. Do you know M? Do you know M? What is M? The mass of water. Is it okay? Do you know C? What is C? The heat capacity of water. Do you know V? Okay, if the experiment is performed here in South Africa, so it's going to be 20. If I believe the value given to me. But if it was performed in UK, it was supposed to take 240. Is it okay? Depending where you are performing your experiments. So, you know M, you know C. Sorry? Okay. Yeah. That's the reason why from the beginning I asked two ladies the value of it, because ladies, when it comes to electricity and so on, they don't care. Even cars, huh? When they drive, they pray that they may not stuck on the way, on the roads. If she's stuck, my friend, oh, that's why, okay. We, listen. Hello? Why is it going tonight? Because I'm talking about ladies. Ladies, especially if you are doing engineering, you don't have any choice. You must like everything related to electricity, chemical engineering, mechanical engineering. These are our stuff. Is it okay? Huh? Yes. Yes, but some other times I'm talking about home. Huh? It's not only here. When you are home, when guys are talking about electricity, the fuse and so on, you must be interested also. Okay? You must be able to talk the engineering language. Alright? So, you know V, you know N, you know C. Can you determine R? So from the data developed here, you're going to determine your R. Is it okay? Knowing your R, then you should be able to determine the power in. Are we together? Are we together, guys? Now, how are you going to determine the power out? The power out is the power as it's been used by the system. But how are we going to access that power out? Very simple. We did it in thermochemistry. This is another backup, thermochemistry. I think you did it in physical chemistry, okay? Or in thermo. When you are heating up a solution, you can, when you are heating up a solution, you can determine the energy used by the system by saying P out, it's supposed to be, or the energy out, it's supposed to be equal to the mass of the substance used times the heat capacity of the substance, isn't it? Times delta T. Delta T. Is it okay? So from there you can determine the energy used used by the system. The difference in temperature is accessible, isn't it? Are we together? Because you want to heat up from 25 up to, I don't know, you can get to 60 or 80. So you know delta T. The C you know, the M you know, and from there you can determine your power, the energy which is used by the system. You divide the energy used by the system by energy supplied by the surroundings, and then you're going to get the efficiency of your process. Are we together? Are we together, guys? But now look at, yes dear? Yes.
When using that formula to calculate R,
yes.
when we're supposed to make the assumption that the system is 100% efficient?
Yes, you assume that the system is 100% efficient, while it's not. Okay? If the system was working perfectly, but in reality, that is not always the case. Is it okay? Good. I like your engineering eye. We need to have also chemical engineering eyes. He saw it. Okay. Now, after determining your efficiency, guys, you will realize that for the external, this is an external heating element because it's not inside of the system. You will get an efficiency which, when it's noisy somewhere, it concentrates me, guys. Please, if you do have any concern, lift up your hand. You will have an efficiency of more or less 10%. Is it good enough? Is it good enough to boil or to heat up water? When you do have it 10%. Okay, when we do have 10% efficiency, what does it mean? What is the meaning of having 10% efficiency? Yes, Elise? Can you speak louder? There is loss of energy. Yeah, but saying loss of energy, I'll give you a 5 out of 20. You haven't yet answered to the question. You cannot answer a question by stopping at the midway or just at the beginning. Loss of energy. This is not all.
We know that energy is not cannot be destroyed. It's always transformed from one state to another one. And then in this part, the energy must be converted from the electricity to the heat energy to warm water. So we are expecting to have 100% efficiency because the current that we provide, the amount of current provided must be equal to the amount of heat supplied. Then if the efficiency is 10%, it means there's some energy that has been lost, and 10% of the amount of current provided is being transformed.
Okay, it's like you are getting there, but you are not really satisfied my needs. I want you just to explain why or how the energy has been lost, through which process, and this is what we did, the second part. Do you remember? After energy balances, we did heat transfer. Okay? So, how the energy is being lost in this case? Even before, we call this virtual experiment. You know that we are performing the experiment, huh? But this is a virtual one. The other side is going to be a physical one. So, how the energy is being lost in this case? When you are heating using a hot plate. Yes? Obviously, when you are cooking, I mean that now the ladies are experts. When they cook, okay, the energy is lost by radiation because your plate doesn't take the whole surface area of your whole plate. That's why it's always good. You will see nowadays ladies prefer to have the saucepan, which is bigger, to take the whole surface of the hot plates. Okay? Because if it's small like this, the whole energy is lost by radiation. Are we together? So, what makes the efficiency to be less is the loss, number one, by radiation. Okay? Because the contact here is not, there's no intimacy between the container and the hot plate. The second reason for the heat loss. The second reason of heat loss by. Okay, by the way, you're gonna get other reasons when you're gonna be reporting to me. So it's just to say, guys, in this case, we've said that there is loss due to radiation. Then we can eventually ask you to quantify that energy lost by radiation. Then you're going to use all the formula close to you. Okay? Is it okay? Any questions so far? Yes, proceed.
So the 10% we use was an assumption?
Oh, assumption. You can put 50, you can put even 5. I'm just saying. But it can't be more than 50. I doubt. Because you have a lot loss due to radiation and other processes. So, because you got 10%, would you advise your manager to proceed with this heating process? Obviously not. But the point is not just to say, obviously not. You need to suggest something. What are you going to suggest to your boss? To the manager. Yes, Pussy? Obviously. You can suggest to put an element inside of your heating process. This is the reason why a clever guy suggests, even this is what we are doing today, kettles. Have you ever seen a kettle with an external heating element? Generally, they are inside. That's why the second part of our experiment, you'll be using a kettle. the thermometer, you open the kettle. When you open the kettle, is it a closed or open system? Before reaching 100 degrees, is it a closed or open system? Okay? Good. Now, you do the same as you did for the hot plates. You start reading temperature, time T, temperature, capital T. You switch on your kettle. Before to switch on, at sun 0, you're going to have, I don't know, 25 or 24, something like that. And then at time 5 seconds, you're going to have 26, 10 seconds, 28 or 30, and so on. The same you did for the hot plates, you do it with the kettle. Are we together so far, guys? And from there, you should be able to determine the resistance of this heating element. Now, you can, to determine the efficiency in this case, use just the formula of, P out over P in. P out, easy to determine, and P in, some of the kettles, if you look at, let's say at the back, they've written all the details concerning the power and so on. Have you ever checked? If you check at the back, they put even the power. So you know the power in, which is written there. And that power value, I don't know, can be 400 W. So you can use that value if you want to determine by the resistance mean, you can do so, or you can take just that power in, which is 400, and you calculate your power out, which can be 3. Okay, let's say 80, and from there you can determine the efficiency of your process using now the kettle. Okay, calculator, can you give me the efficiency? Times 100, you must always multiply by 100. It gives to you 95%. 95%. Your conclusion? Your conclusion? Hello? Are you with me, guys? What is your what will be your conclusion after getting the efficiency of 95% with the kettle? Yes?
When we compare that previous process, we get extra.
What will be your conclusion now? Yes?
We can compute that data with loss in the closed system.
There is?
No, it's lost.
No. There is. There is. You didn't get 100%. Yes, we'll see. Definitely. This is where we want to lead. I'm not saying when you're going to perform your experiment, you're going to get to this conclusion. It's okay, but this is the way to prepare you or to explain to you the kind of results you can expect from this experiment. As you can see, even when it comes to design your processes, because this, it's at the lab scale, if you have to use now big tanks or big reactors, you cannot make your conclusion say, okay, I'm proposing this to be producing or to be warming up 2,000 liters of water having an external heating element. You can do your experiment at the lab. If it works, then you can try to extrapolate it at the large scale. Are we together, guys? Are you with me? And this is how design works. You cannot If you start from the lab, you get an efficiency of 10%. You say, okay, no problem, because the electricity is cheaper. I know, by the way, electricity is not cheaper, guys. Huh? I was in Waitrose last week. There was a blackout. So it means that the electricity is not cheaper. We need to know how to use efficiently the energy which is available for the moment. And this is where we need you. Are we together, guys? Any question?
Sir,
Yes, it is.
for our kettle, right, we need to close it for it, like for the energy to stay inside. For the heat to stay inside.
For which system?
For the kettle.
For the kettle, yes.
Now we have our thermometer. How are we going to open? Maybe open to the air.
You're asking about the thermometer.
Yeah, because
How to hold it.
put the thermometer inside.
Ah.
How are we going to put it
Yes? Can somebody help me? Did you get what she said? Yes, yeah?
So what she's trying to say is, like, see, I can't do what it is here. How are you going to insert the thermometer in it?
You open the kettle.
So we can
Hello? Yes, we see.
And it says she wants to, like, you won't be able to hold the kettle because you don't want it to touch the element, you want it to be just in the water.
This is what you meant.
No, so she wants to know if this thing is wet, not wet, outside the water.
Hello? Yes, Roy. Well, your question is how to handle the thermometer? What's your question? The kettle. Yes.
When you go up on the kettle, you notice that it takes long to boil from the water.
Yes.
I was thinking that maybe it would be the same with that one.
Okay. It's now you might be right, but you will have to check it when you're gonna go to the lab. It's okay? It's not to me, but let me tell you, an engineer, a chemical engineer is someone who can see things before even to happen. Are you with me? What I'm saying, hello? Shh. I'm not saying that chemical engineers are prophetic, no. But I want just to say, shh, as my friend they say. Because here you do have external, and here you do have internal. It's inside. Where the energy will go, the energy supplied by the internal one, where it will go, straight into the water.
Then you have some heat loss by convection.
By convection, yes, you can have a heat loss by convection, but at which extent? Then you will have to tell us how much it will be lost. Is it okay? Yeah, but I can assure you, accept that we are prophets. In chemical engineering, not me, all of us. In engineering, we can predict things that's supposed to happen. In this case, you will see that the efficiency here is going to be much higher than the efficiency in the other side. Is it okay? You don't have to worry. Accept just we are prophets. Okay, yes. Yes, Brownie. Can you listen, guys? Yes?
Let's say, for example, the kettle boils down and the temperatures might be 100 degrees, the top that goes, I don't know how that works. It goes up,
Yes.
now the boils is 100, maybe 104, and then it goes down again. Do we stop recording when it reaches the max?
maximum or do we continue?
Because maybe you didn't yet read the content of the experiment, we say that you should not set temperature be beyond 80 degrees, just to avoid to have vapor. Because if you start having vapor, it means that M will no longer be constant. Is it okay? Yes. We need to take into account also the pressure in Cape Town. The pressure may make some of the water, if you get to 80, they can start converting to vapor. Bigger than 80, they start converting to vapor, depending on the pressure. Okay? That's why you should not go beyond 80 degrees. Any other question? Guys, I like questions, please. Yes?
How much time do we have to do this?
The report. Generally, we give 2 weeks. We are not rushing. For us, we want you to make a good report where you understand concepts. You can see how to match the theory and what is happening in practice. Is it okay? Yes, Lucy?
So, although we do have like a basic structure for reports, but every module has a different requirement. So what is intake requirement? She asked about the length of time you're going to complete the report. I'm asking about
2 weeks.
No, she's not asking.
I'm not asking that. I'm asking about the actual report.
The actual report. They are not. Did you read this? It's supposed to. Well, you are asked.
I want to know what the extinction of the mass of qualities, the length of the report.
Okay. Okay. Basically, for most of my reports, listen, guys. For most of my reports, hello, I don't restrict the students. Listen, I don't restrict students. You can make listen. You can make 8 pages, but if it can contain, okay, your title, introduction, and so on, then it's fine. You can make 5 pages because some of the students are very strong in summarizing. If you are strong enough, then it's fine. Again, I'm not restricted saying, okay, give me 20 pages because you might be strong in summarizing. If I say 20 pages, then you start putting things which don't make sense. Okay, any other question? I can see we do have a visitor. She's sleeping. Huh? It's boring there, my friend. Sorry? Okay. Any other questions, guys? Yes, wise men? Shh, please, your attention.